Hey Aries, Libra season, the sun is opposite of you and your full moon is upon us. You may be or have been waiting for this reading, but you didn't even know it. Nah. This season can always give you some more perspective. This season is much different than it has been before. However, it is about our relationships, how we relate to others, how we relate to ourselves, how we relate to our jobs. Do we still relate to our path? How we in every which way. And for you, because it's right across from you and your sign is about the self, you could find yourself balancing a lot of different things, juggling a lot of different things, and realizing how much responsibility you actually have in your life. And you may feel in the beginning, or it may appear like you have less control over what's happening. However, you find that throughout the course of the month that you do have more control. Why and how do I know it can flip that quickly? Well, the thing is that some air of good news or some air of enriched words come across your way, and a good idea, even that's even better. A good idea really comes to you, and it hits you so hard that right away you're kind of tested, or right away you see where maybe in the past you have utilized some of these skills, or you've taken from a place that you may have once called home. You've taken something from it and you're putting it into not only your possession, but your pocket. You're putting it into your bank. And there's a lot of pentacles here already. So you might be thinking about value, money, how you're valued, how you use what you value, what you choose to value. And this Knight of Pentacles says, okay, things are developing. However, they're moving a little slow. But this grand idea that you have that comes your way in the midst of realizing and attending to all of these different responsibilities, all of these different aspects of your life that need your attention. I'm trying to use my words a little bit better, that make more sense so I don't have to explain myself too much. And this month, now that Mercury has gone direct, it feels a lot easier too. So if you can do that throughout the course of whenever you see this, or even before this until, towards the end of the month, you may find yourself having these little victories, these little moments of being able to communicate things in a way where, even to yourself, right? Even to spirit, the universe, that it's not about that you're in a rush or you're moving quickly. It's just that you're very focused. You're very in the moment. You might be enjoying a lot more, and there will be things that, of course, want to take you out of the moment. And if it's someone in your life who has shown to you over and over again that they're not shit, then you may want to consider an alternative to the situation. Just consider it. Nothing too, like I told Pisces right before, nothing too impulsive. Use your intuition. There's a difference. But notice the different synchronicities, whether they're positive or negative ones. Notice what happens when ... Like, for example, you want to go out and celebrate with your friends, and whether it's your significant other or someone in your life that doesn't agree, or maybe turns they're not okay with it. That's one way of looking at that. Also, part 2 and the extended, which is when we go in more in depth, I show you the cards where you get a chance to kind of see how I read and see how they line up. I find that it's very helpful. It was very helpful for me. That will be in a link below on Patreon for each sign. Also, there is a space there and other ways to contact me to work with me one-on-one if you feel like you want to go even more in depth. So this moment makes you realize that something does need a change. It may hurt. Here you are. It may hurt. Or it may touch upon different points that really maybe rattle your heart a little bit more than normal. So you weren't like prepared for this month either, but it's just happening. But what's revealed to you is how strong and capable you are of handling certain things as they come your way this month. I think you accept, in the beginning of the month, it seems as though you accept the responsibilities. You accept everything that's going on. This great idea happens, but some fuckery happens too. However, it's not going to continue because you like drawing the line. And yes, it's not the best feeling. And it may be as if you don't feel like you have any control. You may feel a little out of control in the midst of some things that happen. However, what it allows you to see, and this could be around the time of the full moon in your sign or days after as everything reveals itself to you, that if you're fighting this Mars in Gemini, or if you're fighting something because you keep adding to it, then of course it will be fiery. Then of course it could leave you stuck in your head, very Libra, like I don't know what to do, like almost paralyzed, because you're deciding not to take the control where you have it. So you may feel a little you could feel a little blindsided this month, but it's something that has been weighing on you for a while, and now it's showing up in a way that maybe you again were not prepared for. What's important though to remember is that what's happening, it's happening in a month where you can actually do something about it. We're in a cardinal, you're a cardinal sign, we're in a cardinal air sign, and then here you have cardinal earth at the bottom, which also reminds me that Pluto is in Capricorn and it goes direct on the 8th. So all of this is happening around the same time. We have the full moon, we have Pluto going direct, we have Mercury entering Libra, and then after that we have Venus entering Libra, but that's not until days later. Beautiful. So you have all this direction and this energy that wants to move and direct itself. The worst thing to do is take this out on yourself or do something self-destructive, which is at the bottom of the deck here. You don't have to be, or the bottom of the reading here. You don't have to be self-destructive about what's going on. It just feels a lot more overwhelming because it's Libra season. In your season, it may feel like just a lot of energy and like fun and play, but because we're in this season, maybe you just need to go out and express yourself. Maybe you just need to go out and move a little, dance, or go somewhere where there's some more there's some stimulation going on, a good vibe where you can have a drink or and socialize with some people that you know. Maybe that's all you need. Don't get if you let yourself get in your head and go back and forth, nothing's going to be solved this month by doing that. Nothing. Needing to loosen up a little? Yes. Needing to just do what you got to do sometimes? Yes. So, rose gold, So what you find, and then for some of you, I would say that you're deciding upon something and making a decision clears up a lot for you, but it also exposes a lot. And that's just what happens. But the thing is that you got this. You realize a lot, and then you're able to do a lot about it. And you also have no control over how, this other person or this situation responds. Maybe it's a couple people who have the same feeling about you. You can't control that. You can only do what you can do, and you can only follow your own lead. If someone else is trying to drag you down, You might have to go through a little bit of a back and forth, we'll say, before it can be let go of. But at least you're doing something about it. Not that you don't, but sometimes you can avoid. I find that Aries, you can confront, but you also can be avoidant in certain areas, and this isn't allowing you to be avoidant, really. Because if you want to be, it's really kind of excruciating more than it would be for some reason, because you need to be able to be around people that you love and you trust this month just to have a good time because of something that's going on. They might not even know about it. I'm not saying that you should communicate about it. You might want to talk to a couple friends. You might want to be careful if drinking or overindulging makes you act a certain way, though, because you don't want to do anything that will come back to bite you in Scorpio season. That's all I'm saying. But this reading, I would also say, and I'm going to say it to you in Libra for a while and to other people depending on where it moves throughout their reading, is that next year, so we have the eclipses at the end of this month, which is maybe if you, ooh, sorry. Ooh, maybe if you have any Scorpio or, see, repercussions, now that was really stupid and probably looked really stupid. Scorpio and Taurus have the eclipses in their sign, and what that's revealing to you are things that you're going to need to know because the eclipses are moving into Aries and Libra next year. So by Capricorn season, we'll all start to feel that energy begin to shift. And that's where you really end things. We'll get into that into the next part, but that's where you really end this constraint that you feel like you've been held back a little bit, even though you feel you can be sometimes the most free of the signs, but you've committed to something that now is maybe coming back to, and it pulls you down, or whatever you've committed to in the past is like pulling you back, and you need to restructure, reconfigure, and have conversations that will eventually develop into bigger conversations. It doesn't need to all be hashed out now. It could be like every month you get into a deeper part of this, and that's okay. And I think it's just letting it play out, letting yourself understand that this is your process with what's going on, and mainly focusing on this amazing idea that you have and knowing that you have what it takes to carry it forward. So we'll take a deeper look in the next in part 2 in the extended, which will be below. Again, information to work with me is also there. All right. See you next month.